Hello and welcome to this week's lesson on subject-verb agreement. In this video, we'll be looking at basic subject-verb agreement and collective nouns. Let's begin. For third-person singular verbs in the present tense, use the verb plus the s or es ending. Two or more subjects connected by and require a plural verb. Expressions with every and each are followed by singular nouns. Even when there are two or more nouns connected by and, the verb is singular. Let's take a look at some examples of these rules. Number 1. The tradition comes from the 13th and 14th centuries in England. So this is the regular basic subject-verb agreement where the verb has an S ending for the third person singular. Number 2, the couple's friends and family write, "just married" on the card. So in this case, we have friends and family. So there are two nouns connected with and. So that means that they are plural and there is a plural verb, write. Number 3, every region and culture has its own traditions. So this is an example of an expression with every, and it's followed by a singular noun. Even though there are two nouns with and, we have the expression every. So we use a singular verb. Number 4, everyone isn't smiling. So also pronouns like everyone use a singular verb, isn't. Sometimes a phrase or clause separates a subject from its verb. These interrupting structures do not affect basic agreement. And a gerund used as the subject of the sentence requires a singular verb. A gerund is a verb with an ing ending that is being used as a noun in a sentence. Let's look at some examples. Number 1, a popular wedding tradition that is found in many different cultures involves the wedding guests cheering as the newlyweds leave. So in this sentence, tradition is the subject and involves is the verb. So here we have a clause that is found in many different cultures that separates the subject from the verb. However, that does not change the fact that this verb agrees with the subject tradition. So be careful not to make the verb agree with another noun that is not the subject. Number 2, floral arrangements on the car are also quite common. So again, we have a noun that is plural. We have a phrase that is in between the subject and the verb are. So are is a plural verb that agrees with the subject arrangements. It does not agree with car because car is not the subject. Number 3, the present that she got from her children was a family photo album. So again, we have the subject, the present, and we have a clause that is in between the subject and the verb was. So this verb agrees with the subject, present. Number 4, hitting the vehicle with a shoe was considered good luck. So in this sentence, hitting is a gerund. So hitting, or any gerund, will use a singular verb, like was. Collective nouns are nouns that refer to more than one person. In American English, singular verbs are preferred with collective nouns. However, British English prefers the plural verb. A plural verb can be used to emphasize the individual members. Let's look at some examples. Number 1, the crowd is throwing things into the air. Crowd is a collective noun because it's referring to more than one person. It's a group that includes many people. However, it is a collective noun, and so in American English, we usually use the singular verb with it. So the crowd is. Number 2, the family is all together for the holidays. So family is also a collective noun. It refers to more than one person, but we use a singular verb with it. Number 3, the faculty are preparing for classes. Now, in this case, there is a plural verb that's being used with the subject faculty, which is a collective noun. And the reason this is done is to emphasize the individual faculty members. So this is also correct. It's not as common as using the singular verb, but it's used for a purpose, which is to emphasize the individuals in that group.